Greetings, everybody, from American Legion Memorial Stadium. Tonight's match and Small Business Saturday Night is presented by Nucor. It's the USL Super League on Peacock tonight as Carolina Ascent welcomes Dallas Trinity FC. Sean St. Jacques, Haley Sutton, Anna Whitty, all here with you for this one tonight. And Haley, we begin by taking a look at the Tampa Bay victory, dealing Carolina their first loss in the Super League last time out.
And it was a loss that Coach Philip Poole told us did not feel good to get that one out of the way. He talked about how competitive Carolina has been all season, and he was almost disappointed that they picked up a loss at this point of the season. So I imagine they are coming into this game against Dallas back at home where they have been so solid this year, looking to get back on track and put that target right back on their back.
The Sun were really impressive, a 2-1 victory to knock Carolina from the ranks of the unbeaten. But Carolina is still unbeaten at home through 6 games coming into the night. They've been extremely impressive here in Charlotte.
And it all starts with their goalkeeper, Megan McClellan, who we'll get into in just a minute. But we mentioned it. They love playing at home, Carolina Ascent does. Want to point your attention to the attendance, though, Sean. A lot of people come out and watch these Carolina games.
We're expecting another good crowd tonight here in North Carolina. On the Dallas side of things, Pauline McDonald's group have been pretty darn good away from home. They're hoping to bring some of that road warrior mentality to Charlotte tonight.
Man, what a fun result this was for Dallas. And when we talked to Pauline McDonald, she told us her thing that she loved the most about her team so far has been their resiliency. That was on full display in this game where they scored those 3 goals in 10 minutes to give them the win. Look for them to bring that same energy against a tough Carolina opponent today.
One of the more memorable results of the season, that 3-2 win at Lexington. Our Food Lion player to watch tonight is the aforementioned Megan McClellan. 6 clean sheets and 29 saves to her name this season.
She has been so good in net. When we asked Coach Poole what his favorite characteristic about her in net was, he said she's always at the training grounds every single day. She's the first person to show up, the last person to leave. And oh, by the way, she's very good in net as well. Coach Poole says if you're going to beat Meg McClellan in goal, you're going to have to work for it. And I'm sure she wants to do that today for Dallas.
With more on tonight's matchup, we send it down to the third member of our team, Anna Whitty.
Last week, Carolina Ascent lost their first game of the season against Tampa Bay, and with that, they lost the #1 title that they've had since week 1. Carolina's head coach, Philip Poole, said having that target on our back wasn't a relief to lose our first game of the season. This team wants to win every single game in 2024 and 2025. With that, he's proud of his team to have this target on their back and earn the respect of the league. The league has this narrative that this Carolina Ascent team is the team to be beat, so this week against Dallas, it's about getting back on track. Dallas and Carolina are 2 teams in the league who only have 1 loss.
Thank you very much, Anna. Really well set up for this one tonight between 2 of the top 3 teams in the USL Super League. Carolina and Dallas trying to catch Brooklyn at the top of the Super League standings. This game could go a long way to seeing if they can get back to the top spot. Kickoff in Carolina on Peacock is next.
How do you make a sustainable impact? You do it at industrial scale. You use clean energy to make circular, low-emission steel. You help automakers and energy producers reduce carbon impact. And builders rise to meet sustainability goals. Nucor, made for good.
Flavors, the same traditions. Be the guest of honor. Add more flavor to your parties. El Jimador, spiked bebidas.
Once the game kicks off, the hype doesn't matter anymore. Your follower count means nothing. Your resume is irrelevant. What matters is the moment, the game, the crest on the front of your jersey, the people you play for. Are you going to make history? Are you going to save the day? Are you going to score a hat trick, break some ankles, or give a kid the thrill of a lifetime? This is what the movement is all about. These moments that matter. The USL Super League.
Tonight's match and Small Business Saturday Night is presented by Nucor. Nucor Corporation is the safest, highest quality, lowest cost, most productive, and most profitable steel and steel products company in the world. Nucor is the official sponsor of the Carolina Ascent FC. Sean, Haley, and Anna back here with you. We dump into the Capelli Sports starting lineups. Philip Poole's unbeaten at home Carolina Ascent 11 looks like this.
And the focus this week for Philip Poole's roster will be that back line. He said they spent a lot of time at practice this week getting back to the bases. They've got to put pressure on the ball with this lineup.
On the other side of the coin, Pauline McDonald's side, just one defeat all season. They came back in September, hoping to keep the road positivity going tonight.
The road positivity and the results in general, they come into this one at 6 unbeaten. They've sort of tweaked their formation to play a 3-5-2. Coach Pauline says she likes the way her team is able to attack and recover, especially in the midfield for this 3-5-2.
Well, the last time these two teams met ended up being a 4-goal thriller about a month ago at the end of October. And in the rematch tonight on Peacock, these are two teams hoping to push towards the top of the table, which is currently occupied by first place Brooklyn. 7th game at home for Carolina Ascent in their Super League history. They're unbeaten, and they're hoping to bounce back after their first ever loss last time out against Tampa Bay in the Sunshine State. Sean Tahini is our head official tonight here in Charlotte, and we've got another wonderful crowd here at American Legion Memorial Stadium to help take this one in with us on Peacock. The Ascent get us started. They're going from right to left, and we are off and running here in Charlotte. Sean St. Jacques, Haley Sutton here with you. Anna Whitty's on the sideline for us tonight. Thrilled to have you with us for a big, big clash at the top of the table in the USL Super League. 2nd against 3rd, and we'll see how the rematch plays out after a 2-2 draw just about a month ago between two of the best we've seen so far this season in the Super League.
Already you're seeing that defensive pressure. Surprising from Dallas how quickly they're coming out of this game, especially when you think about them playing on Wednesday. Coach McDonald talked about the tired legs, but bringing the heat early in this one, Sean.
And now that Carolina's 11-game unbeaten run to start the season has ended, Dallas now has the active unbeaten run lead with 6 on the bounce without a defeat, going back to that September loss at Brooklyn that we mentioned earlier, which is their only loss of the season. So Pauline McDonald's side will hope they can make it lucky number 7 in Carolina tonight, and maybe, just maybe, give the Ascent their first home defeat. They're still unbeaten here at the friendly confines of American Legion Memorial Stadium. Tonight's keys to the game are presented by Botero Carts. And we begin, Haley, with Carolina's recovery attempt here.
Yeah, Coach Poole talked a lot about just wanting to get back to the basics for his team. He said he was disappointed, as we heard from Anna Whitty, her report in that pregame there. They just want to get back to the bases, pass the ball around, be strong in possession. And for Dallas, this is a really big game, not only to get a result, but also, too, to manage the rest of the season. There's still a lot of games left to play for Dallas in this fall slate. So they want to come away with at least a point today to set them up for success in the future.
Well, they're going to get a corner here on the far side. Corners are brought to you by Nucor.
And that will be a corner kick for
and some
Dallas
early defending to do
FC.
for Carolina.
Corner kick brought to you by Nucor.
Looks like it's going to be Chioma Ubagagu, who's been really fun to watch these last few weeks for Dallas Trinity, who will stand over this set-piece attempt. Right to the edge of the 6-yard box, trying to find Sierra Hinson. Dallas will recycle the play. They'll go all the way back to the sure-footed Maddie White, who gets the start again in goal tonight for Dallas on the road. Good cut infield. Again, Hinson controls. On the far side, Ubagagu. Trying to thread the needle in behind here. Flag stays down. Dallas could be in here. And a chance to shoot. It goes in! Goodness gracious! The opening goal arrives with just 3 minutes gone. Sam Meza slithers her way through. And Dallas take the early lead. What a finish!
I think the goal kind of caught us all by surprise here, Sean. We talked in the pregame about Ubagagu and her vision and ability to pick out passes, but this is just great individual play here from Sam Meza. Holding on to the possession, not being afraid to take a shot at the last moment. I think it just caught Megan McClellan off guard here. She didn't really know the shot was coming in, reacted a little too late, but what a dream start for Dallas on the road, and in 3 minutes they take a 1-0 lead over Carolina.
Second goal of the season for Sam Meza. For those maybe just tuning in to the Super League, she's one of the best close control players in the league. She kept her balance and, more importantly, kept her composure. What a wonderful finish that was.
And a challenging finish too. I mean, you mentioned it, keeping your composure. It's so hard to keep the ball so tight at your feet, especially when you're inside the box. There's a lot of bodies coming in, a lot of feet trying to take that ball away from you. And it wasn't a powerful shot either, Sean. She just got it off of her foot and again, caught McClellan off guard.
Well, we hadn't mentioned it yet, but Carolina is one of the best defenses in the league. That's just the 9th goal they've allowed this season. They came in with allowing just 8, which was the fewest in the whole league. And an early shock to the Carolina system as they try to find an immediate riposte here. But it's a critical challenge defensively. It looked like that was Jenna Weinbrenner. And Dallas is able to just about ease the pressure. Critical intervention from Weinbrenner.
A heads-up play there as well from Weinbrenner. It's always so hard to make the decision to slide or to stay on your feet. And as a defender, you're usually the one that gets penalized when things don't go the right way for you there. Just a heads-up play, a strong soccer IQ move there from Weinbrenner.
Carolina just trying to get out of their own end at the moment. Aggressive play from Dallas to begin this game. We talked with Pauline McDonald earlier in the week, the Dallas coach, and she had said after the 2-2 draw at home against Carolina back in October that it was one of the best performances to date that Dallas had put together this season. They've been trying to build on that ever since. This is part of the culmination of this unbeaten run, and they're off to a brilliant start again here tonight.
And you hear that old adage, right? Play to the level of your competition. We usually hear that in a negative way. You don't want to play down to your competition. But I think for Dallas in this case, they play up to their competition. They know Carolina has been one of the top teams in the league all season long, loss aside. And so sometimes just it gives you that energy, that boost when you know that the competition you're playing against, you're matching that energy.
Already Carolina being put to the test. Philip Poole alluded to the fact that they really wanted to stay hungry after that defeat. You know, some people may be saying, well, you know, it's your first loss, you get it off your back. That's not the message that Philip Poole and his staff have been giving these Carolina players. They want to get back on the horse and build another winning streak or unbeaten run, and it'll help here with another Nucor corner upcoming.
And that will be a corner kick, Carolina Ascent. Corner kicks are brought to you by Nucor.
She said, do you love
Taking the
me?
corner kick, number 21, Renee Guillaume.
So can the Ascent find a reply? That one is going to come up short, and it's going to be a goal kick for Dallas. Tonight's injury report is presented by Novant Health. Multiple notables on both sides not available tonight. And also, we were talking about this a little bit off air, Haley, especially with Dallas. You talked about their fixture congestion. We did start to wonder if maybe some of the alterations to the lineup are due to the fact that there's going to be a lot of players that have to run a lot of mileage over these next couple of weeks.
It's something that Coach McDonald talked to us about just in that game this Wednesday when they played Spokane. It was a 0-0 draw in that game, and she talked about how they didn't necessarily manage the game the way they wanted to. And so as a result, you saw a lot of tired legs. They had to make some substitutions in that game. And now we see the formation change, moving to that 3-5-2, just giving them a little bit of a cushion in the midfield so they're not being so far stretched lengthwise. They can utilize the width of the field as well. And that will help with those tired legs and so on and so forth.
Blue Cross and Blue Shield of North Carolina is the official health insurance provider of Carolina Ascent FC. Blue Cross NC makes health insurance easy. Discover employer, individual, family, Medicare, and Medicaid plans from Blue Cross North Carolina. Better care starts here. Nearly 10 minutes gone. Sam Meza has the opening goal for Dallas. Have some defending to do here. This is Mia Corbin for the Ascent, poking it through. A turn and a shot. And it is comfortably saved in the end by White.
If you're Carolina, that's the type of buildup you're going to have to get back in this game. And I like the idea of trying to go over the top in this game. That's actually how they got beat in that Tampa Bay game last week. And so just trying to maybe take a page out of Tampa Bay's book there and try and beat Dallas a little heavy off the line there. But they're going to have to continue to put pressure on the goalkeeper if they're going to want to get back into this game.
One back in the middle of the park by Catherine Gonzalez. And then the referee, he's going to stop the play in the end there. Carolina get the decision.
It's the goalkeeper, Sam Meza, who got a little tangled up there. You see she's still limping off a little bit. I think she just went into a 50-50 tackle and came out on the wrong side of it. But a good thing to note there is the ref sort of let that play out. It kind of gives me the sense that she expects this to be maybe a physical game in that sense, wants it to sort of settle out. So that's always a good thing when you're a player on the field, knowing you can be a little bit more physical in a competitive match like this.
Ends up being given away. Dallas waiting for more numbers. It's just a little too far out in front of Meza. And Carolina will reset.
And just as we talked about utilizing the middle of the field in a 3-5-2 for Dallas, the downside to that is you don't necessarily have the vertical stretch you want. So as Sierra Hinson got the ball there, she had no one to play it to up top. That is the dance that you have when you're switching through different formations.
That was played up ahead towards Jada Bedoya, who Philip Poole highlighted to us earlier in the week. And he talked about it, and we've just mentioned a little bit earlier. Some of the players who have been out for Carolina, who haven't had the chance to really strut their stuff yet this season, Philip Poole talked about how that's allowed the likes of Jada Bedoya and others to really emerge in this squad, and she's now become a focal point in the attacking third.
And this is why this league is so special, right? Because you have these moments. You never want to see injuries in the game. But what the Super League does is it allows a variety of players to get in, get experience, and make a name for themselves. There's so much rotation, whether it's international duty or call-ups to a bigger club or whatever it is. Everybody on these rosters is getting experience. So then when you're in a situation where you need a substitute to come in, you're not relying on a player to come in straight off the bench.
Tonight's match in Small Business Saturday Night is presented by Nucor. Nucor Corporation is the safest, highest quality, lowest cost, most productive, and most profitable steel and steel products company in the world. As Dallas has a chance here, it's deflected off the side netting. Nucor is the official sponsor of Carolina Ascent, and fittingly enough, it's a Nucor corner upcoming.
I am really liking what Dallas is bringing to this matchup today. Ubagagu, the individual effort, she gets the nutmeg there, and her pace to bring this forward. That driven ball in allows Sierra Hinson to make a choice on the ball. She could have cut inside and probably had more success, but it led to a corner as we just saw play out.
Could fall for another opportunity here, and it's a big touch defensively from Jill Aguilera, who then looks over her shoulder and sees the offside flag go up. Just about every time that Dallas has gotten the ball, they've looked dangerous against arguably the best defensive team in the league to this point in the season.
It just feels like they kind of want the ball more right now. You see it even here, 2-3 defenders coming in. The one-on-one attacks to try and get in the mix. Now we're seeing some feistiness, some chippiness.
That's going to be a booking for Taylor Porter for maybe extending her involvement in that challenge on Meza.
And it all came from the resilience, the relentless offense on the ball. Porter just gets her jersey, pulls her to the ground. You can't do that. That's a yellow card. But again, highlighting that that play came from 3 Dallas defenders closing in and wanting to win the ball back.
Is there anybody that can knock Sam Meza off the ball? My goodness, it's on a string. And from the set piece, goalkeeper doesn't come. Hinson back into the middle, and a sidewinding shot is saved by McClellan. And somehow the Ascent survived. What a stop.
We spotlighted her in the open for a reason. Megan McClellan has 6 clean sheets on the year. And right now, it's just her reaction time. Sometimes when you're a keeper, you don't always get the best look. I wish she would have came out, but she drops back here to be prepared for the second attempt, and then just a diving play to get one hand on the ball. She redirects it out. She has been so good this season, and as I mentioned in the lead-in, Coach Poole talked about how hard she works off of the field to be prepared for those moments.
She now has 30 saves this season. We talked about it in our open, 6 clean sheets. Unfortunately for her, won't get one tonight.
Yeah.
But that's right towards the top of the league as well. She's got the numbers to back up the stature.
And Coach Poole just talked about her willingness to do what a team needs in their moment. You know, he talked about how she's never won a championship in her career, but that hasn't deterred her for wanting to come back and being an impact player. She's always so locked in and focused, a huge part of their defense.
And Coach Poole talked about just the bravery of so many players to try to continue their pro careers when it see so many players, male and female, they get to the crossroads, right? And do you continue to try to chase the dream, or do you do something else? So many players on many of these teams, if not all of them, have had to make choices like that. And it was really classy of Philip Poole to tip his cap to all the players that have had to do that in their career.
And it's challenging. You know, I played college soccer. I had opportunities to play professionally, but it's one of those things as a 20-something-year-old, do you want to pack up your life and move, you know, somewhere like Iceland where you don't know the native language, or Germany, or whatever it is that you're having to go through? Those are big decisions. And an incredible move there at the back, on the back line, but nonetheless, it's just special to see the Super League and what it's turned into for these players for that exact reason.
We were talking before we came on the air. The product is getting better and better, it feels like, with every pass and with every shot and with every cross. And McClellan is going to corral that one. Well, in the aftermath of both Hurricanes Helene and Milton, the USL has partnered with United Way Suncoast to help the Tampa Bay area recover from the devastation the storm left behind. To learn how to get involved, scan the QR code or visit www.uslsoccer.com/Milton to ensure individuals and families have the access to resources they need to recover. Cleared by White. Corbin holds up the play nicely, gives Carolina some time to get organized in the attack. Guion. Could be a chance to maybe cross this. This is Bedoya. We mentioned her earlier. 2 players on Jada Bedoya. She continues to fight through the Dallas defense. The Trinity are just about able to get out with it. Sealy Strong sends it further upfield. And Pauline McDonald's got to have her head on a swivel on this near side. It's out for a throw.
Just the relentless nature of what Dallas is putting on the pitch right now is very impressive, and I mentioned it briefly, them playing in that game on Wednesday. Tired legs are certainly not a factor at this point of the game. They have been so good about working together defensively to then set them up offensively. They're just missing that final pass. We've seen Sierra Hinson kind of come back and get more involved. I want to see more of that as this game goes on.
Looking to be a part of history in the Carolinas this inaugural season, but missed your chance at season tickets. Check out Carolina Ascent pro-rated season tickets starting at just $12 per game. Visit carolinaascent.com/tickets to learn more. It's worth reiterating again, especially here at American Legion Memorial Stadium. Crowds have been marvelous. The fans have been wonderful. All over the USL Super League map to begin this season, and maybe none better than here in Charlotte. And Philip Poole, again, just raved about the impact this team has had in the community, how the fans have already gotten involved. You're seeing bumper stickers on cars, there's scarves hanging in pubs. That's the way it should be.
I love that story he told us about pulling up at a stoplight and seeing someone with a Carolina Ascent sticker on the back of their car. But I tell you what, that stuff matters, Sean. It matters not only for the fan base. You know, you feel that energy and they're excited about a new team. It matters for the young girls who are growing up and they're seeing what's in front of them. They're at this game in the stands watching some of their heroes play. All of it is so important, and you put the nail on the head perfectly. We can't talk about it enough because the growth of the women's game right now, we've got the NWSL Championship kicking off here shortly as well, and so many people are locked into this sport right now in America.
What a day it's been just for the USL in general. The USL Championship final was earlier on CBS.
Trinity
Our friends and colleagues Mike Watts and Devin Kerr did a wonderful job. Marion Crowder, who also works with us on the Super League coverage, did a wonderful job on the sideline reporting. And of course, the congratulations to the Switchbacks, the champions. And of course, we can't wait to crown our first ever Super League champion at the end of this maiden voyage. USL Super League, of course, as we just mentioned, kicked off its inaugural season. One professional women's soccer league in August, featuring 8 teams located throughout the country. And again, you can watch all the Super League games and historic firsts exclusively here on NBC's Peacock Network. That's been the other fun part about this first season. All the history that's being made week in and week out, all the firsts. It's always been really fun for us, the players, the coaches, and the fans to be a part of those kinds of moments, because as they say, they only happen once.
Well, and you said something interesting earlier as well, too, about how every week the product is getting better and better. And sure, like, that's a no-brainer, right? We expect that with Sports League. It gets better as the time goes on because you build that chemistry. But really, the growth and the interest in this league, in this sport, has just, it mirrors what we were seeing in women's basketball as well, too, with just how much it's skyrocketed up, which is great for these ladies, too. I mean, and we talked about it as well. They're back home. Most of them are, or some of them, I should say, are playing in their own backyards. They've got their families supporting them as well, too. And now they feel like they're a part of this big, important product. It's really been special. I can't say it enough.
Good reverse ball in behind here. Could be a chance for Carolina in behind. This is Bedoya. Still Jada Bedoya! And it's a good recovery in the end by Jordan Hardiman. Got there in the nick of time.
And that ball was played over the end line.
And I think Bedoya's touch just let her down. What a beautiful ball played in. Nobody was keeping an eye on Bedoya on the outside, but this touch right here was just too heavy. She was a little bit tired from making that big run back past the back line there, and then that last touch just let her down. But again, it's interesting. That's how Carolina was beat against Tampa Bay, so it looks like they're trying to sort of take a page out of the Suns' playbook.
Oh, that was a chance at the back stick. Guion tried to thread the needle in behind, and Aguilera not far away, but missed the target.
Number 7, Jill Aguilera.
Once again, a ball played to the back post with a player streaking. That is the Carolina Ascent way. They like to play those balls floated in, have the back post, the trailing runs come in and get a touch on it. The
Carolina Ascent online storefront is live. Stock up on our next match on scarves, shirts, custom jerseys, I'm told bumper stickers as well. To shop, visit carolinaascent.myshopify.com. Well, if they keep doing well, Carolina might see some Philip Poole bobbleheads, maybe some other players, Mia Corbin.
He would love that.
Could be the next step in the merch segue, if you will. Gonzalez trying to thread the needle down this near side. Carolina gets the throw just to the left of Pauline McDonald. Carolina have certainly grown into this game as the halves moved along, but still trying to cancel out the early goal from Sam Meza, her second of the Super League season.
And I said it in the moment, but I think it just caught Carolina so off guard that it came so early that they're just now getting their bearings.
The build-up leads to Taylor Porter getting possession here. She tries to clip it into Mia Corbin. It's cut out. Porter is second time, and Ubagagu is there defensively for Dallas. And then Hinson controls for the Trinity.
And you'll notice with Sierra Hinson, she's one of those high players that's playing up. She's checked kind of back into the mix here, just so that she can get her foot on the ball. Coach McDonald told us about how well she is at that skill. She's good at holding the ball, distributing as well. She's very composed and picks out a lot of great passes. So while she's not your typical stretch forward that will be that high player, she is the holding forward up there that you can get her the ball and she can work the game plan as well. There, which you've seen, she's got a great connection out wide with Ubagagu today that's been working well.
Early goal that you mentioned as well, Haley, important because, of course, Dallas were held scoreless last time out, 0-0 against Spokane, and, of course, Zephyr are going through a long road trip at the moment. Fair play to them. Joe Johnson's side did really well to get a point, but that was a bit of a disappointing result for Pauline McDonald's group. They've also got those high expectations on this unbeaten run.
And for Spokane, you said it. It's been a very tough road swing for them as they're going through. But I think for Dallas, there was a lot of positive takeaways in that game. They had the majority of the offensive chances. I thought they were very organized defensively. They got a lot of players in that match as well to get some experience. And so Coach Pauline talked about, even in those moments when you don't play your best or you're disappointed, she even said when she went back and watched it afterwards, just wasn't feeling good about the result. But there were those positive moments. And in a season like this, where we're coming up on the fall break, you have to be able to pull from those positive moments to keep you going.
Good step defensively by Guion. Dallas will reset with a throw on the near side. Third member of our team is Anna Whitty. She's standing by. Anna, what do you have for us?
The Carolina Ascent's first 3 to 4 games were where they really created chances so far this season. However, Coach Poole said we need to create better chances as the year goes on. It's really improved for the Ascent because they've seen a variation of goal scorers with 8 so far this year. However, the Ascent are second lowest in shots in the league. Right now, only 1 shot on target.
Yeah, to Anna's point, that is going to have to change if Carolina to make a comeback in this one and try to, of course, avoid what would be a second consecutive defeat. The Ascent are on the defensive side of the game right now. Ubagagu trying to harry the likes of Josie Studer. And Studer stands tall and wins a free kick. us.select is the official match ball supplier of the USL Super League and many elite leagues throughout Europe. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select product specials and more. Select is the player's choice. Again, Sean St. Jacques, Haley Sutton. Just heard from Anna Whitty. Good stuff there. Happy to have you with us here on Peacock. Sam Meza has Dallas ahead here in Charlotte tonight. It's been a really well-played game through the nearly 30 minutes we've seen. Pauline McDonald's side hoping to maybe add on to the lead here. Good ball onto the near side for Dorsey. Dorsey tried to switch the play to Hinson. Carolina cuts it out, and they might have a player down here, and our referee will bring it to a halt. Giovanna DeMarco needed a moment here. Look at the replay.
It's a great ball played in by Dallas, and she just kind of gets tangled up. Sierra Hinson trying to win the ball, and they just collide. No intention there, but I've had several of those types of collisions in my career. They do not feel good, and the problem is it's going to feel worse tomorrow.
DeMarco's going to come onto this near side for a moment. Actually gives a chance for both coaches to reassess things with a few players on this near touch line. And while they mull it over, we can let you know that the climb continues in spring 2025. Meet us at base camp to cheer on the Trailblazers for the remaining 7 home matches of the inaugural season. To join in, visit CarolinaAscent.com to view ticket packages, experiences, and so much more. We saw some of those base camp banners here in American Legion Memorial Stadium. Can Carolina bounce back and, dare I say, ascend towards the top of the table
you
again?
Had to go there.
I did.
It matters, though. I like it.
Here is Bedoya looking to do just that on the near side. Bedoya's ball across was dangerous. It was just touched out of the 18-yard box. Good cushion touch by Gonzalez, and Bedoya will get a throw in on the near side.
And that's when Bedoya is at her best. We've now seen this twice in this game where she just gets into wide open space, ball at her feet. Rather than being the one to have to make the choice if she's gonna finish this or cross it in, look at this ball. It's played in perfect. It's a good interception there for Dallas to collide and get that clearance away. But that driven ball in is what Carolina is going to be looking for to get their attack going.
It's good skill on this near side from Amber Brooks. And she's gonna win a free kick. Excellently done. To help Dallas alleviate the pressure from Carolina.
What I love about Amber Brooks is that she is battle tested. I asked Coach Pauline the first thing that comes to mind when you hear the name Amber Brooks, and she told us that point blank, she's a winner. She's ambitious. She doesn't like when we mention her age on the broadcast, so we're gonna omit that. She's an older player, but we're gonna keep her age out of the mix here. But even as one of the older, more experienced players on this roster, she still brings that ambition, that fight, that will to win. And sometimes you need that when you've got some younger players who are trying to learn what it all looks like.
She provided quite the captain's effort to get Dallas out of danger. Remember, tonight's match in Small Business Saturday Night is presented by Nucor. Nucor Corporation is the safest, highest quality, lowest cost, most productive, and most profitable steel and steel products company in the world. Nucor is the official Carolina Ascent sponsor.
You mentioned the fans in the crowd earlier. I love when we get the crowd noise pumping in through our headset and we get to hear. It's such an exciting stadium, and seeing all the fans pack into the stadium. We talked about it earlier, but it really just adds to the energy of the Super League.
The American Legion Memorial Stadium was renovated about 3 or 4 years ago when Charlotte Independence really the main team playing here when they were in the USL Championship. Now, of course, Mike Jeffries and their side are in USL League One doing great things there. Carolina and Ascent have just done a wonderful job packing this stadium. It's got a lot of history, not just in sports, but in entertainment, going back decades in the Charlotte area. And the most recent chapter has been a wonderful one to take in. Can Carolina move this forward here? Porter onto the near side. Guion sees the attack fizzle out, and Dallas looks to move it up the other end through the goal scorer, Meza.
There you see that skill on the ball from Hinson. Gets it at her feet and is immediately looking to distribute it away.
Did well at the heart of that build-up, but Carolina does sweep it up. That pass through, he's gonna get cut out. Dorsey, first time ball up ahead. Meza scored once already, and they slide in behind to make sure that she doesn't score a second time. At least this time. She stays down as Carolina clears.
Good to see Meza getting back up on her feet. It's a brilliant touch inside the box there. Again, she just couldn't get the shot off early, but now Carolina on the counterattack. What can they do here?
DeMarco leads the break. DeMarco tried to cut it back, dispossessed. But the fight on continues, and Carolina gets possession back in the far corner. After a physical challenge comes in, Dallas tried to clear it, but it comes up short. Mia Corbin lays it off for Guion. Ball's clipped into the middle. It was up for grabs for a moment. And then Ubagagu comes in to sweep it up for the Trinity. Well, we've had some energetic sequences, to say the least, of this first half. Still 10 minutes left in it.
And this is kind of the sweet spot of the game when both of the teams have sort of settled into the match. Obviously, we have a goal in this first half, which makes things a little more urgent for Carolina going into the second, but still plenty of time to sort things out for both of these teams.
Ubagagu. Hinson plays it across. Oh, and it was a big chance for Julia Dorsey. Could not wrap her boot around it, and Dallas missed the chance.
Oh, Dorsey's gonna want this one back. I've been talking about Sierra Hinton all game long. This is what she provides, just holding her run here, staying on sides, and then playing that ball across. But you mentioned it, Dorsey just couldn't redirect her body. All she needed was the inside of her boot there to put that in. It's a tough finish and does not fall the way she wanted it to. But could you imagine, Sean, 2-0 Dallas up over Carolina with 10 minutes to go in the first?
You just took the words out of my mouth. It takes nothing away from what Dallas have done in this first half. They've been excellent.
They have been so organized. They have followed their game plan to a T, and they don't look like the team that already played a game, 48 hours ago or whatever it was. They have come out here with so much energy, so much spark. Carolina is having to adjust their game plan just to handle what Dallas has brought in the first half.
Every Wednesday, listen to USL Super League Game Week, a deep dive into all things Super League with host Marion Crowder and our own Anna Whitty. Follow along all season on the Sirius XM app. Well, this is up for grabs as it rolls towards the penalty area. Studer saw the run of Hinson and gets Carolina back on it here. Near side, Bedoya just poking it along for Gonzalez. Great early ball in from Mia Corbin. Corbin plays the extra pass, and it's wide. Just a whisker wide from Jill Aguilera. It was nearly a magnificent team goal.
Dallas Trinity FC.
And this is Carolina Ascent football to a T. Play the ball quickly, get it into your runners. This is so unselfish from Mia Corbin to kick it over to a wide open Aguilera. Unfortunately, I think she took too much time here and she had too much opportunity. Kudos to Maddie White for coming out and forcing Aguilera to make a decision. It was so close, but still, no goal for Carolina.
Two big chances on either end. And then Aguilera tried to thread the needle for Bedoya.
That ball was played over the in-line.
But you can feel it. You can feel that sense of urgency. You can feel that will to equalize this game before the first half ends. The moments have come early, and I mentioned it. Sometimes it just takes settling into a match. Sometimes it takes an early goal for you to wake up and say, all right, we're going to come out here and play our game plan. Now we're finally starting to see why Carolina went unbeaten for 11 games, and I love what Aguilera has been doing in this game. It's kind of her game plan there where she likes to sneak up the backside. They play in that 4-3-3, so she's able to get in on the attack more often. Has to be more clinical in front of the goal.
I'll take nothing away from the setups on those two passages of play. Both coaches will tell you that the finishing touch is required, and Dallas could have another chance here with Celie Strawn. But the Academy product was caught offside.
And she was offside. Carolina all called it as they pushed up and sort of left her back there standing. That's one of the things that you learn as you get a little bit older and playing around some older players too.
Scored that huge last-second winner at the Cotton Bowl against Fort Lauderdale a few games back and gave maybe one of the best post-game interviews we've had in the Super League this season. What a moment for her as she's just continued to see her role grow more and more in this Dallas Trinity setup.
And it's interesting when it comes to the Super League, just this balance of young versus old, new versus experience. And we kind of got a chance to talk to both coaches about that, particularly with Coach Philip Poole. He talked to us about Stella Spitzer, who is their 14-year-old sensation, who we haven't had a chance to see today. But he said one of the challenges of having a 14-year-old on your roster is making sure that she is still a 14-year-old girl. He said there's times when she shows up and she's locked in and ready to go at practice, and there's times when she wants to do TikToks, and that's kind of similar with Celie Strawn for Dallas, right? Just making sure that you're getting the most out of her on the pitch, but also allowing her to be a 17-year-old and enjoy some of the things that come with being at that young age.
Just to back up that point, Philip Poole expanded on that even more and talked about how multiple times already this season they're bringing in players from around the Carolina area. He said roughly like 20 to 30 minutes drive from their home base, and they're just putting them through the paces to see who the next young talent is going to be.
It reminds me a lot of when you're in college or when you're in high school and you're trying to get recruited and you go out to these college ID camps where you spend the day or a couple of days with your college program and you get all the gear and you feel like you're on the roster. And that's what Philip Poole has been doing with Carolina, where they come out, they get suited up in all of the gear, they get a kit and their boots and all the things, and they feel like they're a part of something. And what that is doing is when those players are walking away from those ID camps, they're saying like, I want to do this. This is what I want to aspire to be. So it's really brilliant just taking advantage of what you have in your backyard and the homegrown talent that Charlotte does provide.
Meza leads Dallas forward, plays an early ball off to the far side for Ubagagu to chase. Ubagagu cutting inside. Meza. Dallas will recycle it. Meza again. Want to stay tight to her if you're Carolina. Hudson. Dorsey. Dorsey dispossessed. And Mia Corbin comes all the way back to help Carolina in possession, but the ball's given away. Strawn in behind. It's Ubagagu, who couldn't quite make up her mind. And it goes out for a new core corner on the far side. Carolina given enough time to defend it.
And that ball was defended
Ubagagu
over
kind of
the
kicking
line.
herself a little bit for not getting set up, but Megan McClellan was furious on that last play. She was yelling at her defense saying, what are we doing? We cannot have those turnovers at that part of the field. Now you've given up a corner, a short corner at that, and Dallas with a chance to go up 2-0.
And they were queuing up inside the penalty area as well. McClellan makes sure nothing untoward occurs. Food Lion and Carolina Center partnering to fight food insecurity across the Carolinas. All goals made throughout the inaugural season provide meals to benefit second harvest. As Carolina look to build something here, and they'll get a new core corner on the far side. We continue to tell you that through the initiative known as Goals to Give More, Food Lion Feeds will help provide 1,000 meals for every goal the team makes in home and away games. Food Lion is the official grocer partner. Nearly a chance there, and now a corner upcoming.
And who was it? It was Aguilera there on the back post just trying to get that shot off. I guarantee you that missed opportunity is going to weigh on her as this game goes on. She's going to want to fix that as it goes. So I expect to see her very active in front of the net.
Another set piece for the Ascent. It's a rainbowed free kick. Oh, it was a free header in there as well, and through the legs. It's going to be a foul going the other way. Looked like the ball ended up in the back of the net, but the initial call from the referee is that the goal will not stand. And we've now been told that that is confirmed. The goal that Gonzalez nearly scores there is chalked out.
Man, and Carolina would have loved to have that one. Looks like she was maybe a little offside on that finish. Unfortunate, because that would have changed the whole game. We just talked about what it would mean to go into this break tied as opposed to being down a goal, and that was the moment. It was a brilliant corner, by the way, from Guillon to serve that ball in. It was a high looping ball, sort of took Dallas a second to identify where it was, but man, that finish would have changed the game.
I think part of the moans and groans were the fact that it was so loud, I don't think you could hear the whistle that the referee blew to acknowledge
the fans
the
had
assistance
no idea
flag.
they were celebrating.
Well, unfortunately for them, it does not go their way. As we approach first half stoppage time, Dallas are still in charge here.
This evening, first half replays brought to you by Green Brothers Juice and Smoothies.
Ball down the line looking for Ubagagu, who's going to trickle out of play. And we begin one additional minute of stoppage time at the end of the half here in Charlotte.
Presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield of North Carolina.
Of course, stoppage time is presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield of North Carolina. And some pressure there from Dallas. He's going to yield a throw in. They might get a chance for one more opportunity in injury time.
And that's been the narrative of this first half. Any opportunity Dallas has created for itself, they have been 100% in trying to continue that trend. Even in the stoppage time, when they already have a 1-0 lead, they're looking to put that pressure. They're looking to create another goal here.
Could be another chance for Dallas here. And Meza just continues to be on the prowl for another. She sends it wide of the target as the first half here in Charlotte comes to a close.
And ladies and gentlemen,
well, Sam Meza's goal that did go in the third minute separates the two sides here at the half, and well, there was certainly plenty of action throughout the half that could have changed the scoreline, but 1-0 at the half it is.
What a fun and exciting first half of play. I am so impressed by what the Dallas Trinity was able to do in this first half, coming off of that game on Wednesday where they battled to a scoreless draw, no goals, 90 minutes. Not only the fatigue of that is difficult to get over, but the mental aspect to get over that. They didn't let that hold them back. They came out on the front foot, got the early goal in the third minute, And now Carolina is the team going into the locker room. You see them there having these conversations about what needs to change in the second half. I'm interested to see how they come out in this one.
Yeah, Philip Poole's side had to adjust a few things the last time they played Dallas. It was actually a bit of a compliment for Pauline McDonald. We'll see how it goes on the second half here. Anna Whitty is standing by with the first half goal scorer, Sam Meza.
Sam, you had the opportunity to punish Carolina early. How were you able to create so much time for yourself in the 18?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's an energy thing, right? We came out ready to play. We came out with energy, and that energy is contagious. You can't stop it.
Energy has been huge for your team, and your coach said possession is really important for your side. How do you get on the ball a little bit more in this game?
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, our formation helps us a lot. It allows us to be numbers up in all scenarios. And I think that's the easiest way. Again, like the energy, you know, we all have that energy, and it helps when I'm energetic too because, right, I'm demanding the ball, so my teammates feel comfortable playing me.
Thank you, Sam. Good luck.
Thank you.
Sean?
Anna, Sam, thank you so much. Wonderful stuff there. Wonderful goal from Sam Meza in what was a really thrilling first half to watch here in Charlotte. 1-0 to Dallas with a big 45 minutes still to come here on Peacock. We'll look around the rest of the USL Super League coming up at the break.
New flavors. The same traditions. Be the guest of honor. Add more flavor to your parties. El Jimador. Spiked bebidas.
Once the game kicks off, the hype doesn't matter anymore. Your follower count means nothing. Your resume is irrelevant. What matters is the moment, the game, the crest on the front of your jersey, the people you play for. Are you going to make history? Are you going to save the day? Are you going to score a hat trick, break some ankles, or give a kid the thrill of a lifetime? This is what the movement is all about. These moments that matter. The USL Super League.
We all have goals. But let's be honest. Most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
Hey, you're coming with me today.
I am?
Mm-hmm. Come on.
My sister loves volunteering with her coworkers.
Heads up.
I asked her why she likes it so much.
This is my little sister.
She said there's something special about helping out with Food Lion.
Yes, of course. Have a great day.
You get to make people smile.
Here to fill tables and hearts with hope. Food Lion feeds, here for every moment.
When it comes to delivering high quality, affordable health care, relationships matter. And after 90 years, Blue Cross North Carolina is proud of the relationships we've built with you. We're 5,000 neighbors, friends, and family committed to improving the health and well-being of everyone across this state. We're here for you, all of you.
What does a better tomorrow look like? More people enjoy safer, more comfortable indoor spaces, clean water, clean air, healthy food, and a healthier planet. That's what Train Technologies believes tomorrow should look like. So we put people and the planet first. Today, we take bold action. So tomorrow, there's a better world. For everyone.
Sean St. Jacques, Kaylee Sutton, Anna Whitty back here with you at the half, which of course is brought to you by Nucor. Great start for Dallas here in Charlotte tonight. They lead by a Sam Meza goal to 0 here on Peacock. Chance to take a look around the rest of the USL Super League. And of course, we highlighted this earlier. Huge win for Tampa Bay, knocking Carolina from the ranks of the unbeaten last time out.
Yeah, you mentioned earlier the Carolina Ascent trying to ascend. How about the rise of the Tampa Bay Sun? They have been so much fun to watch over the last few weeks, and now it's starting to show in their play.
Speaking of fun to watch, Brooklyn have been rolling as of late. Luana Gravias has been doing a wonderful job. Obviously recorded the first hat-trick, or I should say fastest hat-trick, beg your pardon, in Super League history. And look at the Capelli Sport upcoming schedule for Carolina Ascent. And again, they have one more game left in this first part of the season before they reconvene in February. That'll be at Fort Lauderdale United in South Florida. Again, the spring season begins in early February. But we talked about this a little bit off air. Pauline McDonald's side have opportunities to get to the top of the table.
Yeah, they do. They're in a great situation right now in the driver's seat against Carolina. They've got games as well against the top two teams as well. So this is a really great place for Dallas Trinity to be in.
We'll see if they can take advantage of those opportunities coming up in December. Live standings in the USL Super League. It's brought to you by A&J Winery. We talked about it. Dallas with a win to get within a point of Carolina, within 3 points of Brooklyn, and they have the games in hand that we just highlighted.
And Coach Paul McDonald told us when we were coming into this game, she said this is exactly where we thought we were going to be. She said we expect to compete to be in that top four when the fall break comes to fruition here, and they are in a really, really good spot. They have been battle-tested all season, but the way they have played against Carolina in this game shows just how hungry they are for a top four finish.
It's been a really good one to take in so far here on Peacock. The good news is that there's more to come in the second half here in Charlotte. 1-0 to Dallas. We'll have highlights and more coming up at the break here on Peacock. Back here at the half, brought to you by Nucor. It's Carolina 0, Dallas 1 so far here on Peacock in the USL Super League. As we get a chance to look back at the halftime highlights, they're brought to you by Nucor. And we begin with Dallas on the attack, and the opening goal came from Sam Meza inside of 3 minutes.
It was such a fast start that it caught everybody off guard except for Sam Meza. Look at the individual skill on the ball, that sticky touch, and then to get the shot off, Megan McClellan just didn't have an opportunity to react. There were so many bodies in front of her as well. It was really difficult to see, but a tremendous finish from Sam Meza to give us the only goal, and it was very early on.
Her second goal in the USL Super League so far this season, and that was kind of the table setter for what was to come.
Yeah, Dallas was relentless in this game. Off of the set piece, another great chance, and Megan McClellan comes up big to make the save there. She wasn't going to make the same mistake twice, but everything in front of net, Dallas has put a foot on.
Then Carolina, their best passage of the half.
This was so spectacular. What a little play inside. Selfish pass from Mia Corbett. The touch for Aguilera just lets her down there. You want that to be a little closer to your foot, but Carolina Ascent, that's the moment, that's the blueprint that they are going to have to build off of in the second.
It was end-to-end at times in that first half. We're hoping for more of the same during the second half on Peacock. Coming up next here in Carolina. Tonight's halftime is presented by Nucor, Capelli, Novat Health, Train Technologies, Blue Cross Blue Shield of North Carolina, and Food Lion. Welcome back, everybody. Sean St. Jacques, Haley Sutton, Anna Whitty here with you. About to get the second half started here on Peacock between the Carolina Ascent and Dallas Trinity here. USL Super League coverage on Peacock. Really good first half of play, especially from the neutrals' point of view. End-to-end at times. Dallas, in particular, were really impressive to watch. Carolina built their way into the game and had a couple of really good chances as well. Relatively even, although I think Dallas maybe edged it on the whole.
I loved listening to Samantha Meza's interview with Anna Whitty there. She talked about the energy, the energy, the energy. She repeated that over and over again about that's what's working in their favor, and I agree. I think the question is, will they be able to maintain that energy going into the second half? And for Carolina, can they get some of that energy as well, too?
One thing that'll help is that Pauline McDonald made a halftime change. You just saw it a moment ago. Jenny Danielsen, the Finnish international, is on. Sealy Strawn makes way at the half to inject a little bit of extra energy potentially at the start of the second half. It's a new core substitution. And it looks like Carolina unchanged. And we'll see how they can bounce back here at American Legion Memorial Stadium, trying to avoid what would be a second consecutive defeat after they were 11 matches unbeaten to begin their life in the USL Super League.
I like Coach Poole's decision to keep the lineup the same. I think as that second half went on, or excuse me, the first half went on, particularly in the second half of that first half, I really thought they started to find their form, and you got to give them a chance to figure it out before you make those changes.
Trying to figure it out here with a passage of play. Oh, lovely back heel, two back heels, and it's just touched away from Aguilera. Back towards her, and it's just headed wide. More magic in the build-up from Carolina, but unfortunately for the Ascent, no end product.
Back heel, finish. Carolina, that's what they do. It's Aguilera again floating in the middle. She gets the header, just not able to redirect it. You're starting to see kind of that frustration kick in when you've had opportunities in front of net, but that is what Carolina we've come to expect from them on the field, and I expect to see more of that as the second half gets underway. Well, Nucor provides you with the halftime stats. Carolina had the edge in possession. Dallas had the edge pretty much everywhere else. And that makes sense when you think about the formation. I know we've been talking a lot about that, and coaches really don't get too stuck up on the formation that they're playing. But Dallas does have a tendency to want to play those deep balls. We've seen that a lot. Carolina likes the ball at their feet. And so both game plans work for the respective teams. That doesn't surprise me even a little bit. Well, Hittens didn't have too much room to work with there. Back to Megan McClellan, of course, made a big save. We saw that in the first half highlights to keep it 0-0 early, or I should say keep it at 1-0 early on after the Meza opener, which was inside of 3 minutes. The clearance here came up short. The Ascent are able to quickly recover possession. DeMarco up ahead, trying to release Aguilera. But the Trinity defensively are able to make the stop, and Aguilera follows through and gives away a foul. Again, that frustration mounting for Aguilera. Just didn't have her timing right on that run, and then a little retaliation foul on the end there. Ubagagu. It's reset all the way back by Gracie Bryan and company for a Dallas recycle of possession. Now Anna Whitty is standing by. She caught up with Philip Poole, the Carolina Ascent head coach. Anna, what do you have for us there?
Carolina's had 54% of the possession. They've created chances, especially in transition. Coach Poole said that final ball has to be better in order to get a goal in this one. When it comes to Jada Bedoya out wide, though, he said they're finding her well, but they want to find Bedoya more in 1v1 battles, and it needs to be set a little bit faster in order to exploit Dallas's wingbacks.
Good stuff there, and almost as if we were in the team talk with Philip Poole during the halftime break. That was great. And some of the adjustments that he's trying to make to get Carolina back on top here.
And that's been the blueprint for them in this game. I like what she said about getting Bedoya more involved on the 1v1 opportunities. We saw her on that chance in the first. I'd like to see more of that as well, especially because she's pulling defenders more out wide and she's creating that separation and that space in the middle of the field where they want to play the ball into.
It's a good fall for an opportunity here for Carolina. Mia Corbin for DeMarco. It's reset all the way back by Taylor Porter. Studer out wide. There is Bedoya, and she will settle for a throw. A layoff here. Sees Josie Studer arriving, looks for the angle. Gets to the byline, it's blocked by Ubagagu, who's actually done very well defensively at times tonight for Dallas. Meza trying to lead Dallas forward, and again, it's just on a string. Ubagagu in support.
That ball just won't leave Meza's feet. She has been so good about maintaining possessions, even when she's got pressure and bodies and feet trying to steal the ball away from her.
Looking to be a part of the history in the Carolinas' inaugural season, but missed your chance at season tickets? Check out Carolina Ascent prorated season tickets starting at just $12 per game. Visit carolinaascent.com/tickets to learn more. It's almost like Sam Meza has Elmer's glue on her boots. It's really impressive. And the early ball in here, Danielson and Meza were both interested in it. It was cleared away, briefly up for grabs for both teams, but Carolina will settle it down. Nice ball played through from Mia Corbin. Tries to release it over the top. Aguilera's in the middle. Gonzalez looks like she's going to win a corner in the end. Brought to you by Nucor. It's another chance for the Ascent from a set piece.
Well, copy and paste what Coach Philip Poole said about getting Bedoya more involved in the match and just put it on that last sequence. That's exactly what he was looking for out of his winger there. Just get her the ball, give her a chance to be on the ball and make a choice, create that opportunity, and they are rewarded with the corner kick.
Carolina in search of a second half equalizer. From the corner, he's going to be headed towards the penalty spot and then nudged away from Gonzalez. And Dallas are just about going to get this clear, but it's out for a Carolina throw. Bedoya fighting for it. We'll stay with the Ascent. Talked about this a little bit off air, and really this is just comparing it to the standards that we've seen from Philip Poole and his side throughout the season. There were positives in that first half, but at times it kind of felt like Carolina in the attack was trying to figure it out in that first half, and they're still trying to put the puzzle pieces together, it feels like here.
And it can be challenging when you're more of a possession-based team. That final pass is always what holds you up there, as you just see it
right on cue.
Right on cue, yeah. Again, Aguilera. And it's hard because finishing is the most difficult part of the game of football, right? You've got to have the timing, you have to have the proper touch. All of the things have to go right in order for it to go right. I think the positive here, if you're Carolina Ascent, is that you're still getting those opportunities. You haven't given up yet, so that's important.
On the aftermath of both Hurricane Celine and Milton, the USL has partnered with United Way Suncoast to help the Tampa Bay area recover from the devastation the storm left behind. To learn how you can get involved, scan the QR code. Go to uslsoccer.com/Milton to ensure individuals and families have the access to the resources that they need to recover. Carolina again on the attack here. The shot opened up there for a moment, but it is sent soaring over the top and out of play by Mia Corbin.
And it's interesting, Sean, because we talked about the possession, and we heard Anna's report there. 54% of the possession in that first half belonged to Carolina. Now what you're starting to see with that possession is exactly what I just talked about, right? They're able to hold on to the ball more, which is forcing Dallas to have to play more defensively. They're working so hard to get the ball back that it's exhausting them. Carolina, on the other hand, because they have control of the possession, they're able to work the ball out. They're able to get it up to Mia Corbin, who can distribute, get it out wide to some of those wide players. It's really a juxtaposition of what we saw in that first half.
Should mention as well that Fort Lauderdale and DC playing right now. Another Super League game, 0-0 is the update on that game going on right now in South Florida. DeMarco trying to slither this through. Gonzalez in behind. It's Mia Corbin. And she has her shot blocked away. Corbin picks up the pieces. Josie Studer. Oh, it's going to open up for a shot. It's a bending effort. That is palmed away by Maddie White.
This is a beautiful strike. It's an even better save, but look at the shot. A lot of time, picks up her head. That little bend on the very last minute there, it forces White to come out and just get a touch on it, but it's a brilliant save.
DeMarco has not scored yet this season, nearly found the back of the net there, but White thwarts her. Another good defensive intervention from Ubagagu. And Dallas are back in possession. Danielson trying to find Ubagagu unsuccessfully. Carolina Ascent online storefront is live. Stock up on our next match on scarves, shirts, custom jerseys, and more to shop. Visit carolinaascent.myshopify.com to learn more. And Sean St. Jacques, Haley Sutton, Anna Whitty, our entire crew. Happy to have you with us on Peacock. It's been a wonderful game to take in. And Dallas still holding on to that early advantage from the 3rd minute, and the flag's gonna go up here as Julia Dorsey tried to double Dallas's delight.
It was a tight call, but it was the right call by the side official there. Dorsey just a little bit early on her run. But I tell you what, Sean, that open ball over the Carolina back line has still been an issue for them in defense. Thankfully, Dallas hasn't been able to capitalize on that big ball over, but I mentioned it earlier, that's how Tampa Bay was able to score. You've seen Dallas a couple of times sort of test that same theory. Players have been open. It's all about maintaining the timing, and we could see some goals come off of those big balls.
That's taken away. Great ball back behind, I should say, by Corbin. Aguilera in behind, and it just comes up short. She was trying to find Catherine Gonzalez, and it'll go out for a new corner, it looks like, on the near side.
It's a good decision by Aguilera just to float that ball into the box. She had a couple of runners, but Gonzalez, as you mentioned, was her target there. Phillip Poole is going to continue to repeat it. That final pass, that final finish, that's what's lacking for Carolina.
Approaching the hour mark. Carolina, again, should mention it, trying to avoid a 2nd consecutive Super League defeat. In search of a leveler. From the corner, goes right towards goal. And it was caught on the line by Maddie White. I believe we have seen an Olympico already this season in the Super League. That wasn't far off.
It's a spectacular grab, though, by Maddie White. Corners are always difficult where you're trying to decide if you want to come out and you want to make that big defensive stand or if you're going to stay in the net. She did just that.
Heavy challenge came in as Julia Dorsey tried to move Dallas forward. And it's going to lead to a yellow card as well. I think it was Vicky Bruce.
A yellow card has been issued.
it's just the red card was out for a second there, and some of the Carolina players were confused. I think the referee may have pulled out the wrong card initially and then canceled it out to give a yellow card. We'll confirm that as we look at the heavy challenge by Bruce.
I think the challenge definitely warrants the yellow card. I understand the panic of seeing a red card come out on that particular challenge, but the referee able to sort things out. It is a yellow card, and I think it is deserved for Vicky Bruce.
Remember, there's no VAR either, so heads up by the referee there to make sure that she made that clear, because the decision would have stood. So just a yellow for Bruce. And the ball in by Ubagagu is headed down. It's not definitively cleared. Now it is by Porter at the expense of a Dallas throw. Ubagagu flashes it across, and another big save by McClellan. Another close call for the Trinity.
Look at how this ball is whipped in by Ubagagu. She's been tearing it up on the outside of the pitch. No spin on the service. It's perfect for Dorsey to come in as she's crashing the box. All she has to do is redirect it. Megan McClellan comes up strong there. There was a chance to clean up there. I believe it was Mesa in front of her as well, but a strong play for both teams on that opportunity.
Julia Dorsey, 2 close calls tonight. Dallas will make another substitution. Hannah Davison, we actually expected to see in the starting lineup tonight. She is going to come in. And it's going to be Ubagagu who is going to make way. It's a Nucor substitution. Wonderful performance from Chioma Ubagagu tonight. And now we'll see if Hannah Davison can help get Dallas closer to what would be a 5th victory of the season in the Super League.
I'm not sure if she knew that was her final play of the game, but man, it was a special one from Ubagagu. She did such a good job of commanding the outside channel there on the left side. So I'm curious to see if they're going to get that same production now that they've made the change, or if this change is much more defensive. We've reached that point of the game where you've got a 1-0 lead. You want to hold on to that as long as possible, bringing in a defender to maybe shore up the defensive effort in this game.
Well, Novan Health is proud to be the official healthcare provider of Carolina Ascent FC with the same and next day sick visits. Novan Health provides care where and when you need it. Schedule online at novanhealth.org. Should mention, as good as Hannah Davison's been defensively, she scored 2 goals this season. Should mention that as well. It's been a well-rounded player for the Trinity to this point in the campaign. We were speculating off air about, maybe you rest someone like Davison, don't go the full 90. Yeah, we didn't confirm that with Pauline McDonald, but just speculation. There was so many games for Dallas upcoming, and obviously an opportunity for Dallas to end this part of the season before the winter break at the top of the table as well.
And that's what you work for, right? You want this portion of the season to be your best ball. That way, when you come into that spring slate, you're building off of the high. You've already gotten through the difficult part, the growing pains of the game.
It was nudged ahead a couple of times into the middle of Carolina's penalty area. Ascent are able to clear it. The Trinity reset. Sam Meza's goal an hour of game time ago put Dallas in front. And she's moving the Trinity forward again. Although this time, I think there's enough numbers around her to force her to go all the way back to Hannah Davison.
But it's one of her best skills, Sean. She's so comfortable dribbling. And I say this every time I'm on the broadcast. Dribbling is not an easy skill, especially when you're dribbling at someone or you're dribbling with a purpose. It's one of the most difficult skills in the game, and she makes it look effortless.
Here's Mia Corbin for Carolina. Corbin cutting in field. Has Studer for support. Back to Corbin. 3 goals for Carolina this season. Switches the point of the attack. And it's a long distance shot in the end from Guion That's going to fly out of play. Anna Whitty is on the sideline for us tonight. Anna has an update on Dallas. Anna, what do you have for us here?
Dallas actually changed their formation to a 3-back a month ago against Carolina. Coach McDonald said their team was healthy enough with 3 different center backs, so it was time to try the formation. And Dallas has really used the athleticism of Dorsey and Meza in the wing back positions to punish teams on both sides of the ball. But even in addition to that, there's so much depth for the center back position for Dallas that it's allowed them to cover so much ground in these games.
And it could culminate in a 7-match unbeaten run. Could put Dallas on the doorstep of the top spot in the table.
And Anna's completely right that change has really worked for Dallas, particularly in this game. They always have a number up as well, so that's been helping them defensively when you have so much pressure in the middle of the field. But really, smartest move of the season if you're Coach McDonald, because you've found your system that you want to play it.
Elevate your game day. Carolina Ascent FC offers a variety of pregame, halftime, and postgame experiences to take your group outing to the next level. Marching on the pitch with the pros to a postgame photo on the pitch and customize an unforgettable game day experience for you and your group. Visit CarolinaAscent.com/groups to lock in an unforgettable match day experience today. Foul there. As Philip Poole, we're told, he's going to get a change ready here.
And we have a substitution
on cue,
for Carolina Ascent.
It's going to be Riley Baisden,
Number 10,
who's going to enter the field of play, and that is going to be the end of the night for Giovanna DeMarco on a Nucor substitution. The Ascent's first change of the night.
And it's a good one in terms of Riley Baisden coming in. Of course, she scored her first goal of the season last week to bring them level with Tampa Bay in that opening loss. But she came in, she also had 5 duels won in that game. She was great at tackling with 3 tackles won. So just an overall player who came in and made an impact in that last game. Coach Poole hoping she can do much of the same in this one.
That's one of the highest assist totals in the league this season as well, with 3 of them. To this point, 4 total goal contributions.
And that will be a corner kick.
Dallas to get ready a Nucor corner on the far side. Danielson, it looks like, will head over to take it.
And taking that corner kick for Dallas is number 8, Jenny Danielson.
And I mentioned the time on the clock. We are approaching the 70th minute at this point. When you're holding on to a 1-0 lead, they've seen sort of those chances come and go, haven't been able to capitalize on anything. Defense is at their forefront here for Dallas.
Clipped in by Danielson. It was well placed. On the outskirts of the penalty area, it's volleyed back in, but to no one in particular. And Megan McClellan resets for the Ascent. The inaugural USL Super League season obviously well underway. Visit the USLSuperLeague.com for all the latest info, analysis, and insight into all things Super League. And there is one other live game going on as we speak. It's halftime in Davie, Florida. It's Fort Lauderdale 0, DC Power 0 at the moment. So keep an eye on that one. Both teams could really use a bounce-back performance in that game as well. Another game, of course, you can watch on Peacock. And Sam Meza's goal back in the 3rd minute has Dallas ahead. Carolina's been on the chase ever since. Missed a couple of big opportunities in the first half. Second half, they've continued to grow into the game. Have not been able to find the end product. At least not yet. This ball's clipped in behind, and it's going to be a foot race here. Baisden on the prowl. cleared away by White.
And I love the pace that Baisden just brought into the game. Sure, it's a little bit of fresh legs, but also some determination to at least attempt to get to that ball. That's what you want out of your substitutions.
Weinbrenner for Hinson. Meza for Danielson. Danielson in behind. Hinson is offside. And she was beaten to the spot by McClellan anyway.
I loved watching the Carolina back line on that play. Dallas kind of had some time to build and pass through, and Sierra Hinson was a little slow in distributing that ball before going on her run there. But you saw the Carolina line, they almost moved in unison, one after another. That was to make sure that Sierra stayed offside in that position. It was really brilliant to watch.
Just the latest example of how good Philip Poole and his defensive setup has been for Carolina this season. Of course, both of these coaches really built a big chunk of their resume in the international game. Philip Poole with the U.S. women's national team, and Pauline McDonald with the Scottish women's national team as well. Bring a ton of experience, and it's turned into another great matchup between their two sides tonight. Here is Baisden trying to assess the scene. Studer clipping it into the penalty area, and it's going to go over just about everybody's head. That was Bedoya who was the target. Guion keeps it in play and gets past a Dallas challenge. Trying to find Bedoya, and it just slipped underneath her boot. Dallas will clear.
And it almost felt like they were being a little too unselfish in that moment for Carolina. Just a couple of poor touches that didn't set them up successfully. No communication on whose pass it actually was. Just got to clean that kind of stuff up. Again, I mentioned the clock earlier. We're now closing in on just 20 minutes of regulation to play in this game. Those are the kind of mistakes or the miscues that you can't have. Similar there, a pass that's just a little too far ahead. For Studer there on the outside, you have to be clean and efficient in these final 20 minutes.
Offside flag goes up against Danielson, as Bruce was on the cover. Now, bucket hats, fireworks, stadium blankets, and more. The Carolina Ascent has you covered with giveaways all season long. Guarantee your favorite giveaways and choose 3 matches and 3 games on your schedule your way. For more information about the 3-game mini plans, visit carolinaascent.com/tickets. I think the rumors around Charlotte today was that it was going to be beanies, I believe, for the fans today. That came to the game in time. And Carolina Ascent marching towards a potential equalizer. Will get a throw-in as Dallas will move a few chess pieces around.
Dallas Trinity FC, number 7, Enzi Broussard.
Now Sierra Hinson is going to come out, and Enzi Broussard is going to come on to take her place. With 17 minutes plus stoppages to go, it's another new core substitution for the Trinity. And a big hug from Pauline McDonald after a job well done.
Pauline was so complimentary of Sierra Hinson when we got a chance to talk to her. Just said that she was kind of the security blanket on the field, holds the ball, really helps the possession run through her game. And she did a job well done in that first half. She did everything she was asked of, I'm sure. Pauline very happy to give her that hug after her play today.
Well, time's starting to become a factor for Carolina here if they're going to come back. Here is Bruce, of course, scored the first ever USL Super League goal. Carolina's build-up at times has been excellent, but can they find the finishing touch? Here's Aguilera, a little too firm on the touch forward. And it's looped up ahead here. Maybe a chance to hold this play up for the Trinity, and play is going to continue here. Meza, after was held up wonderfully. Weinbrenner, can she pick somebody out? Oh, she nearly picked the goal out. It goes out for a goal kick.
I guess if you can't find your teammate, find the back of the net instead. I know what she was trying to do on this play, but boy, this was so close to being the second goal of the game for Dallas. It just floats just wide. We've been talking about the Carolina buildup. It's kind of like we flopped that, and now we see Dallas sort of do the same thing, getting back to their form in that early first half action.
Dallas get a takeaway high up the field. Lindsay Broussard's come on and made an instant impact here.
Yeah, I was going to mention her as well. That play on the ground where she's trying to get her body up quickly because you can't play on the ground. It was such a smart move just to keep the ball in the possession at the feet of Dallas.
Weinbrenner plays it up ahead for Broussard. And Enzi Broussard looks for time, looks for space. Can she find the angle? Inviting challenge after challenge. It still falls for an opportunity. And it's fizzed wide by Gracie Bryan.
And that shot is wide. Goal kick, Carolina Ascent.
Tremendous save from Megan McClellan here, but watch the one-touch play from Gracie Bryan. Broussard just couldn't get the angle, couldn't get the shot off that she wanted. She's actually dispossessed, but Gracie Bryan puts all of her laces through on that attempt. It forced McClellan to make the save.
Ball goes out of play on the far side. Coming down on 14 minutes to go here in Charlotte. Switch of play to Bedoya. Great touch by Jada Bedoya, but it's well recovered by Dallas defensively.
And I think that's why Coach Poole wants her to have a couple more of those one-on-one opportunities. You're not always going to win them in every challenge, but just the threat of getting Bedoya the ball at her feet going into those challenges creates so much for Carolina.
Corbin threads the needle. Chance for the equalizer. And it is sent over the top by Gonzalez after more brilliant build-up play.
15, Catherine Gonzalez's shot is high.
It's a great find by Mia Corbin. And I like Gonzalez. She takes the peek up. She sees that she's got the shot off. Unfortunately, the execution just wasn't there. She didn't pick out a spot in the goal. The back post was wide open there, and I wish she almost would have taken that with her left foot. She would have had a better opportunity to catch wide off of her line.
And Riley Basing was right at the heart of that as well. Third best in the league with 17 chances created coming into the night. You could see why Philip Poole wanted to plug her right back in there. But can Dallas maybe double their lead here at the other end and make it very difficult for a potential Carolina comeback? Danielson will win a throw-in for the Trinity. Still a long way to go, but Pauline McDonald's side could be closing in on one of their best results to date this season.
And you mentioned it earlier, Sean. She talked about how complimentary Coach Poole was of her side the last time these two teams met.
Could be the second goal here. And Broussard put it on a plate for Dorsey. That was probably her best attempt tonight. Good save by McClellan.
What a substitution Broussard has been in these first 5 minutes that she's been on the field. Already 2 crazy chances for her team in the attacking third. And Dorsey all game long has just had that nose for goal. You can tell she wants to find the back of the net. We'll have to see if that opportunity finally falls for her with time ticking down.
Oh, lovely skill on this far side. Little give and go with guess who? Sam Meza. To the byline, she clips it in, but it's too close to McClellan as she was trying to find Broussard.
And isn't it interesting, Sean, how this game has kind of gone in waves, right? When we started the second half, it was all about Carolina and their buildup and them putting pressure on Dallas's back line. Now we're starting to see that shift as the second half has gone on. It's Dallas settling in, and they're creating the bulk of these opportunities. We're seeing it happen in real time as well, too. It just goes to show you the level of competition between these two teams.
Here's Sam Meza, and she is shrugged off the ball. It's a clean shoulder-to-shoulder challenge. Carolina get the ball back, but only for a split second. Dallas doing better at winning the ball back high up the field.
And that's why they were able to be so successful in the first half, relentless on the defensive effort. They had, 2 and 3 bodies sometimes closing in on Carolina, so they weren't able to build the way that we've been able to see them build in this second half. You're starting to see Dallas revert back to that, where they're trying to get more than one body on Carolina when they're on the ball.
Bit of a hopeful shot there from Gonzalez allows Maddie White to take some time off the clock for Dallas as they start to get into game management mode here, or at least time management mode. Here is Broussard continuing to be the spark plug. Still Enzi Broussard on the edge of the penalty area. Finds Julia Dorsey. And Dorsey trying to pick out a cross into the middle is going to win a corner. Brought to you by Nucor on the far side. Down to 10 minutes of game action plus stoppages left here on Peacock.
It is the most critical part of the game, especially in such a tight, contested game. A 1-0 lead, that's nothing in the last 10 minutes. We just saw Dallas a few weeks ago come from behind of a 2-game loss to Lexington, or a 2-goal deficit, I should say, to Lexington before coming back to win that game 3-2. Anything is possible in this league.
Danielson's ball in is headed towards goal, and McClellan is able to make the stop off the header by Amber Brooks.
I think today has been a perfect example of how Coach Poole described the way Megan McClellan plays the game of soccer. She had that slip up in the first half that ultimately led to this 1-0 deficit. It's unfortunate because she's been brilliant for the rest of the match. You saw there, even just getting enough of her hands on the ball to deflect it and keep it from being in a dangerous spot. It's no surprise that she's got 6 clean sheets on the season and that she's got such tremendous stats, because she's been really important for maintaining this being just a 1-0 deficit right now.
Carolina Ascent FC is a club built by the Carolinas for the Carolinas, with a vision to climb, to soar, to trek upward, and reach new heights for the Carolinas, both on and off the pitch. From partnership to single game tickets and outings, of course, we've got a place to empower women's sports across the Carolinas as well. Join the climb and contact one of our representatives today. CarolinaAscent.com is where you go. Good hold-up play here for Ascent on the near side. Studer up ahead. Baisden trying to fit a square peg into a round hole. But she gets the ball back. Studer dispossessed by Meza. Meza magic again on the near touchline to get past 3 defenders. And then she does nearly give the ball away after that, but does still manage to get the rabbit out of the hat.
She has just been the woman of the match in this game, Sean. Just so impressive. You made the joke earlier about having glue on her boot. I actually am a little convinced that maybe she might, because she cannot be dispossessed in this game. You mentioned the bad pass in the back there. That was kind of a no-brainer. You probably shouldn't make that decision. But other than that, today, she's been spectacular in maintaining the possession, keeping the play alive for Dallas. It's why that possession arrow, why it's leaned a little bit more in favor of Carolina. It's not quite skewed in their favor completely, because she's been so good about maintaining the possession.
Just had a glimpse of the near side touchline there. It does look like Carolina's preparing another change. We'll await confirmation on that as we're ticking down into the final 7 minutes plus stoppages here. Broussard again in the middle of winning the ball back for Dallas. Dorsey down the far side. Able to get past the challenge there. Broussard gets it back to Dorsey. He's going to reshuffle the cards.
And this is the fun part if you're Dallas, right? And I'm going to use the word fun loosely here. But when you've got a 1-goal lead and time is ticking down, this is really where you want to start exploring how good that possession can be. I just talked about it with Meza and how well she's been on the ball. But that big pass that we just saw from the Dallas back line, you don't have to make those decisions. You are in control of this game, so maintaining the ball is going to be of utmost importance for the Trinity right now.
Carolina is going to make a couple of changes here. Maria Tapia and Ashlyn Sarepka are both going to come on. Gonzalez is going to come out. So is Mia Corbin. It's a double Nucor substitution for the Ascent. And Philip Poole does have a couple of changes left, but those are probably the big attacking changes that are left remaining on the bench for Carolina tonight. With still just a slim lead in this. Well, the climb continues in spring 2025. Meet us at base camp to cheer your Trailblazers for the remaining 7 home matches of the inaugural season. Go to CarolinaAscent.com/tickets to view ticket packages, experiences, and so much more. Ooh, and a yellow card is going to come out here. That's for Broussard. We're trying to delay the restart for Carolina, it looks like.
Dallas Trinity FC's number 7, NZ Broussard. All yellow cards brought to you by Apollo Sports and Entertainment Law Group.
Yellow cards are brought to you by Apollo Law. I think that's the first Dallas booking of the night. Seeing that given more and more. Referees trying to crack down on that in all the leagues, really, around the beautiful game. Getting down to the final 5 minutes here. Carolina still looking for the equalizer. We'll get a Nucor corner on the far side.
And that'll be
again, Nucor, of course, is the official sponsor of Carolina Ascent. Safest, highest quality, lowest cost, most productive, most profitable steel and steel products company in the world. Guillon, who's been providing the service all night for the Ascent. It's a low drive to the edge of the penalty area. Porter looks to re-enter it, and it's a chance here! Oh, the shot is blocked. Bedoya closed down at the vital moment. Can Bedoya find a teammate in the middle? She does. Another layoff for Porter. Carolina continuing to knock on the door. Guillon. Porter up ahead. Oh, and on the turn, Baisden tried to slip it through, and instead of finding a teammate, she finds Maddie White.
It's a nice ball put in by Guillon, kind of a driven in-swinger up towards the top of the box. Bedoya here with a good bit of skill, but ultimately just can't get that final pass, is what Coach Poole told us at halftime. It's what they've continued to struggle with at Carolina.
Still about 3 minutes plus any time added on after that to figure it out. Dallas trying to find the killer second goal here, but this is going to allow McClellan to reset. Goes out of play for a Dallas throw. 2 minutes of normal time remaining.
And we have another.
We did mention that Carolina did have some changes left that they could make. They'll make one here. Opeyemi Ajakaye is going to come on here. Another Nucor substitution for Philip Poole. And Vicky Bruce is going to exit here. And that is the last forward available on Carolina's bench. Safe to say the kitchen sink has been thrown out there.
And for Ajakaye, excuse me, she's very new to this league, just got here about a week ago, maybe 10 days, so just adjusting to the style of play in the United States, just adjusting to life in general in the United States. We weren't expecting her to get very many minutes. I will say I do like the addition of bringing her in here. She is a strong defensive piece that can also get going on the attack as well, so I like the tactical play there from Coach Poole.
Broussard to the byline, and Meza's just going to take it into the corner and win a throw. One of the reasons that someone like Ajakaye gets a chance, B. Hilton, recently called up to the England under-19s for the 2025 UEFA European Women's Under-19 Championship qualifying. That's taking place in Poland. She's also one of the Charlotte natives in this group. The 17-year-old's had a wonderful season, but Philip Poole talked about how other players get opportunities, and Ajakaye is that player tonight, or one of them at least.
And one of the things that he said that resonated with me is, you know, a lot of players are going to get that exposure early. So when you're making a substitution in a crucial match like we've seen this one play out, Ajakaye is maybe not the best example of that, but some of the other substitutions we've seen come in, they bring that experience to the table. So it's not as much as a drop-off when you're having a player like Vicky Bruce come off the field. The rest of that experience sort of lifts up the Ascent.
And the fourth official has indicated
we are going to dive into 3 added minutes of stoppage time.
Presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield.
Brought to you by Blue Cross Blue Shield, North Carolina. It's going to have to be some late Carolina magic if they're going to pull something out of the fire here. Potentially staring down a second consecutive defeat after going unbeaten in the first 11.
And on the flip side of that, for Dallas, 7-game unbeaten streak. It's something that Coach Pauline didn't even realize was the longest in the league at the time. And so I'm curious to see her reaction if that is able to be pushed to a 7-game unbeaten streak. But I said it at the beginning, Dallas's game plan, they really came out and executed it early. Carolina just playing a little bit of catch up. Unfortunately, they haven't been able to find the equalizer yet, but still plenty of time.
There's been plenty of late drama in the USL Super League so far this season. Before you change over to that Fort Lauderdale game against DC Power, you might want to sit through the last couple of minutes here. Carolina have a chance here. Could fall for an opportunity in the penalty area for Bedoya. And it's touched out for an Ascent throw-in on the near side. Minute and a half remaining. Porter volleys it up in the air towards goal. It's knocked down in the penalty area. There was a brief chance for maybe Serebka. And then was that a challenge there? Yes, it's deemed to be a foul against Ajakaye. It's a free kick for Dallas that'll take us into the final minute.
Tough challenge from Ajakaye coming in. It's hard as well when you come into a match at this point. You want to bring that energy and that spark. You're just a little bit higher than everyone else is on the field at this point. So Ajakaye just a little too physical on that challenge.
Stay up to date with the USL Super League. Sign up for the Super newsletter. Get news about your favorite team and stories from around the league delivered to your inbox weekly. Sign up at uslsuperleague.com/newsletter. Pauline McDonald's side on the verge of 7 in a row without defeat in the USL Super League. Final seconds here in Charlotte. And Broussard has got it exactly where Dallas wants it on this far side and moving ahead. Broussard looks and tries to pass it into the middle. Danielson trying to seal it initially and then realizes he could just hit it into the corner to Broussard to maybe run out the final few seconds. Broussard is dispossessed. Carolina will move this forward. Is there going to be enough time for one more chance? Carolina with a hopeful ball forward. It is nudged down. Dallas look to clear it. They do send it upfield. And that is the last act in Charlotte tonight. The Dallas Trinity come to American Legion Memorial Stadium and they beat Carolina Ascent by 1-0. Pauline McDonald's side are 7 unbeaten in the USL Super League. And after 11 straight unbeaten to begin the season, Carolina Ascent have lost back-to-back games for the first time in their history after another really fun game to take in here in this USL Super League.
Pauline McDonald has to be so proud of her side right now. She talked about the tired legs, the length of the season. She's been so great as this game has gone on, as the season has gone on. It's unfortunate for Carolina they weren't able to get this one going offensively, but defensively in net, Megan McClellan was great today.
Let's look at tonight's save of the match. It's presented by Train Technologies, and well, we got to see Megan McClellan on full display tonight.
That was her best save of the day. Just her ability to react, get a hand on it, keep it from being more of a 2-0 lead as opposed to just the 1-0 there. She was so instrumental in this game in keeping Carolina in it and staying competitive.
Dallas wins it by 1-0. Anna Whitty is standing by with head coach Pauline McDonald.
Coach, Sam Meza described your team with energy. She said this team has been all about energy, and we saw that all 90 minutes. Where does this energy come from?
I think it's the internal drive and motivation of the group, and you know, I think the last two performances we weren't quite happy. We felt we could have competed better. We know we're a good team in possession of the ball, but I think the energy, the confidence and the commitment tonight out of possession was different class from our group.
The commitment also led to your team being now on a 7-game undefeated streak. What do you credit to that team's consistency?
You know, it's a work in progress, but for me it's about building meaningful relationships together as a group of players with the coaching staff, and I feel like tonight we've really turned a corner with bringing that collectiveness.
You see the collectiveness, especially in the midfield. Sam Meza, a big piece to be able to put this game away early. What does she provide for you guys on both sides of the ball?
I think, you know, she is a bundle of energy, but you know, in terms of possessing the ball, she has different attributes in the way that she progresses it. She can pass, she can play 1-2, she can drive, and then in the defensive side, she's an absolute battler. And I thought tonight was an excellent game from her, and I think she really, in the early stages, really drove the team forward.
Well, thank you so much, Coach. Congrats on the win.
No problem. Thank you.
Sean?
Yeah, thank you, Anna. Thanks, Coach, for the time as well. Wonderful performance and result for Dallas tonight as they come to Carolina and they win it by 1-0. Definitely some positives to take for Carolina tonight. Of course, Megan McClellan was wonderful again, especially in the second half to try to keep Carolina Ascent in the game. Unfortunately for them, they're not able to get the result, but they do get the play of the match. It's brought to you by Plaza Appliance Mart, and it was this really wonderful build-up play, but unfortunately, no end product. Kind of the story of the night.
And it was the story of the night for Carolina. Aguilera just wasn't able to get that first touch to set herself up in front of net. But that's kind of the blueprint of what we've come accustomed to seeing from Carolina this season, is that build up, get it out wide. So it's not the result that Philip Poole will want, but again, he talked about finding the positives. That is a positive for his team.
Another great showing in the USL Super League tonight by both teams involved. Dallas are the victors in Charlotte tonight. Sam Meza's third-minute goal enough to get Dallas within touching distance of the top of the table here on Peacock. We'll step aside for a moment, and we will wrap it all up next. Sean, Haley, and Anna back here with you to wrap things up. Our new core player of the match for Carolina was their goalkeeper, Megan McClelland, tonight. Did everything she could to try to keep the Ascent in this one. However, it's Dallas that leaves Charlotte with all 3 points tonight. We look back at the new core full-time match highlights here, and we begin with the match winner. It came in the 3rd minute from Sam Meza.
Dallas fans didn't have to wait long for this one. The 3rd minute and Sam Meza's individual brilliance on full display. We've talked about it all game. Megan McClelland just had a lot of stuff going on in front of her, wasn't able to make the adjustment there early. But then I liked what Dallas did. They really settled into this match. Here on the set piece, we showed this as the save of the game, and it was a brilliant save because that ball was trickling into the back net for Dallas Trinity.
That was still pretty early on, and then Carolina started to get their sea legs a little bit. They had this wonderful passage of play.
I just know Aguilera is kicking herself for not being able to finish this one. She was wide open on the back post all day long, but that first touch failed her.
We flipped the script to the second half. More Carolina chances.
And they really settled in the second half. They made Maddie White really work. That's another brilliant save there as DeMarco gets a brilliant shot off. Forced White to make the diving save.
We got closer to the hour mark, and Carolina kept knocking on the door.
They kept getting opportunities from the corner, and we talked about Megan McClelland and how strong she played today. But Maddie White was a force in the net. It's a reason why they were able to have the shutout against Carolina.
Dallas started to work their way back into it, but to be fair, more Carolina chances.
And that's the story of the game. The opportunities were there. It was the final finish for Carolina that let them down today.
And we look at the new core full-time match stats. That kind of tells the story. 12 total shots for Carolina, but to your point, just 3 on target.
And finishing's the hardest part of the game, right? That's something that comes as the season goes on. I'm sure they will work on that plenty at practice, but this game belonged to Dallas today. They were brilliant.
Defensively in particular, Pauline McDonald's side get the job done, and they're now 7 games unbeaten in the USL Super League. And don't worry, Pauline, we'll keep reminding you it's the longest active stretch in the USL Super League. Another wonderful game in this league tonight on Peacock. For Anna Whitty, Haley Sutton, and her entire crew, I'm Sean St. Jacques. We say so long from the Carolinas. It's Dallas's night. They come to Charlotte, and they win it by 1-0 thanks to Sam Meza. For Dallas on the road. Dallas on the road. Good cut infield. Again, Hinson controls. On the far side, Ubagagu. Trying to thread the needle in behind here. Flag stays down. Dallas could be in here. And a chance to shoot. It goes in! Goodness gracious! The opening goal arrives with just 3 minutes gone. For Dallas on the road. Good cut infield. Again, Hinson controls. On the far side, Ubagagu. Trying to thread the needle in behind here. Flag stays down. Dallas could be in here. And a chance to shoot. It goes in! Goodness gracious! The opening goal arrives with just 3 minutes gone. Sam Meza slithers her way through, and Dallas take the early lead. What a finish!
I think the goal kind of caught us all by surprise here, Sean. We talked in the pregame about...
For Dallas on the road. Good cut infield. Again, Hinson controls. On the far side, Ubagagu. Trying to thread the needle in behind here. Flag stays down. Dallas could be in here. And a chance to shoot. It goes in! Goodness gracious! The opening goal arrives with just 3 minutes gone. Sam Meza slithers her way through, and Dallas take the early lead. What a finish!
I think the goal kind of caught us all by surprise here, Sean. We talked in the pregame about...
For Dallas on the road. Good cut infield. Again, Hinson controls. On the far side, Ubagagu. Trying to thread the needle in behind here. Flag stays down. Dallas could be in here. And a chance to shoot. It goes in! Goodness gracious! The opening goal arrives with just 3 minutes gone. Sam Meza slithers her way through, and Dallas take the early lead. What a finish!
I think the goal kind of caught us all by surprise here, Sean. We talked in the pregame about...
For Dallas on the road. Good cut infield. Again, Hinson controls. On the far side, Ubagagu. Trying to thread the needle in behind here. Flag stays down. Dallas could be in here. And a chance to shoot. It goes in! Goodness gracious! The opening goal arrives with just 3 minutes gone. Sam Meza slithers her way through, and Dallas take the early lead. What a finish!
I think the goal kind of caught us all by surprise here, Sean. We talked in the pregame about... It just feels like they kind of want the ball more right now. You see it even here, 2-3 defenders coming in. The one-on-one attacks to try and get in the mix. Now we're seeing some feistiness, some chippiness.
That's going to be a booking for Taylor Porter for maybe extending her.
It just feels like they kind of want the ball more right now. You see it even here, 2-3 defenders coming in. The one-on-one attacks to try and get in the mix. Now we're seeing some feistiness, some chippiness.
That's going to be a booking for Taylor Porter Or maybe extending her.
It just feels like they kind of want the ball more right now. You see it even here, 2-3 defenders coming in. The one-on-one attacks to try and get in the mix. Now we're seeing some feistiness, some chippiness.
That's going to be a booking for Taylor Porter. Or maybe extending her.
It just feels like they kind of want the ball more right now. You see it even here, 2-3 defenders coming in. The one-on-one attacks to try and get in the mix. Now we're seeing some feistiness, some chippiness.
That's going to be a booking for Taylor Porter. Or maybe extending her.
It's difficult where you're trying to decide if you want to come out and you want to make that big defensive stand or if you're going to stay in the net. She did just that.
Heavy challenge came in as Julia Dorsey tried to move Dallas forward. And it's going to lead to a yellow card as well. I think it was Vicky Bruce.
Yellow card has been issued.
Oh, it's just the red card was out for a second there, and some of the Carolina players were confused. I think the referee may have pulled out the wrong card.
It's difficult where you're trying to decide if you want to come out and you want to make that big defensive stand or if you're going to stay in the net. She did just that.
Heavy challenge came in as Julia Dorsey tried to move Dallas forward. And it's going to lead to a yellow card as well. I think it was Vicky Bruce.
Yellow card has been issued.
Oh, it's just the red card was out for a second there, and some of the Carolina players were confused. I think the referee may have pulled out the wrong card.
It's difficult where you're trying to decide if you want to come out and you want to make that big defensive stand or if you're going to stay in the net. She did just that.
Heavy challenge came in as Julia Dorsey tried to move Dallas forward. And it's going to lead to a yellow card as well. I think it was Vicky Bruce.
Yellow card has been issued.
Oh, it's just the red card was out for a second there, and some of the Carolina players were confused. I think the referee may have pulled out the wrong card.
It's difficult where you're trying to decide if you want to come out and you want to make that big defensive stand or if you're going to stay in the net. She did just that.
Heavy challenge came in as Julia Dorsey tried to move Dallas forward. And it's going to lead to a yellow card as well. I think it was Vicky Bruce.
Yellow card has been issued.
Oh, it's just the red card was out for a second there, and some of the Carolina players were confused. I think the referee may have pulled out the wrong card. Well, the climb continues in spring 2025. Meet us at base camp to cheer your Trailblazers for the remaining 7 home matches of the inaugural season. Go to CarolinaAscent.com/tickets to view ticket packages, experiences, and so much more. Ooh, and a yellow card is going to come out here.